It's fantastic and it's a great feeling. Like I tell people, 10 years just look so much like yesterday. But what is significant about it is that even me, I have become a changed person. 10 years on the leadership throne has a lot to do with you. And because of some of the challenges that we have gone through, we can only give thanks to God. Before we got here and immediately when we came here, I was a sleepy agrarian community, very, very sleepy. But because of our closeness to Djibouti, which I believe is by divine intervention, we've had to witness a lot of development, a lot of improvement, both in the social, political, industrial, even educational and health sectors of our people. And I can only continue to give thanks to God. My Lord has supported me in so many beautiful ways that every now and then I just become more convinced that this is where we are supposed to be. And God has been kind to us.
Kabis, can you tell us a few of what you would call your achievements in terms of what you've been able to do since you became king?
What we have done so far is to drop a small compendium of some of the things we have done. Don't forget that this office is not a political office.
Okay.
But because of my background, having been a council chairman of the Djibouti local government, having been the pioneer executive secretary, primary healthcare development board in Ogun State, I've learned that you need to keep records, if only for posterity. And so we've done a few things. But what is more significant is the building of this structure. The building of the palace for the town, for the people, is different from building a gorgeous built house for yourself. And then you say because you are Oba, you are living there. We were following the footsteps of our father, Kabisi Abujale of Sikiru ADETOYE, who has probably one of the best palaces in this part of the country. And so when we got here, we noticed there was no palace. Successive, my predecessors, but 3 past Obas, were living in their various houses. And so we were determined immediately that there must be a palace. And with the support of the people of OSOSA, virtually everybody, the women, the market women, the artisans, everybody, the Okada rider, we put up this structure. So for me, that is one unique thing that we managed to do. Beyond all that, as a medical doctor, we've enhanced the quality of our health center. We put up a doctor's quarters there, we built a nurse's quarters. We've done so many things. I used to go and help them in consultation, in surgeries. We've had one of our sons, we did a number of collaborations with them to enhance the quality of that hospital. For instance, we have a minor theater there now where surgeries can be done. And in education, everywhere. But like I said, all these are already encapsulated in one of our compendiums, which we are planning to distribute on the day of this coronation anniversary. But more importantly is the one that I've said. And then engender peace. Because peace is very important. Where there is no peace, there cannot be any development. And again, as you have noticed, I first said that was an agrarian sleepy town when we came here. But today, we have a number of industries, and virtually none of them came into existence without our support, because we've had to encourage a number of people, young investors, to come and put up industries within the town and right on the express, which passes through our town. And you can see for yourself, rice food industry, there's an oncology center coming up, there's an international abattoir coming up, there is a Thai farm, formerly Thai farm, now Premium Cassava Products, a subsidiary of Flour Mills of Nigeria. So many other companies, palm kernel industries, what have you, block industry. Right across the road again, where my uncle Ayajagun, I gather is putting up a solar industry where solar panels and stuff are going to be manufactured. And you know, it's fantastic. You just need to go around the town yourself and see what is going on.
Well, how do you plan to celebrate the coronation?
Well, we had big plans before, because let's face it, 10 years is not a small thing. We were planning to have a major celebration until this pandemic came about. And we thank God that we are all alive here today. So in the spirit of the guidelines, COVID-19 guidelines, what we plan to do is just to mark the day with the commissioning of the newly built customary court. You see, the customary court idea came about because, again, it was one of those things that we found missing when we came to OSOSA, that there is no judiciary institution. And so our people have to settle scores like marriage disputes, land disputes, either in the traditional way, which is very, very archaic, or they have to go to other towns. How do you carry our dirtiness? For instance, people who are fighting over the ownership of land, you carry it to another town, and then they will now be wondering, is there no king or whatever in your town? So the idea came up, but you know, we had issues with funds, but nevertheless, we started it. I apportioned the part of our land for the OSOSA Community Development Association. We encouraged them with a survey. We started the foundation, and after some time we ran out of funds. But then this other company came up and asked us what could they do for us as part of their community social responsibility. That's, I'm talking of PCP. And we now said to them that you might as well start or help us to complete the customary court, which they initially took as maybe they didn't believe that it was serious. But when this thing was coming up, my 10th coronation anniversary, I went back to them and said, look, we are serious. I want this thing built before August. And that was this year, early this year. So we started sometimes around March or thereabouts. And then, to the glory of God, the customary court is completed today with the approval of the state judiciary, because we wrote to them to intimate them about our intention. And fortunately, we are lucky, and we want to use this opportunity to thank the Chief Judge of the State, Honorable Justice Musumola Adekoye, who graciously approved that structure. And we went to work, completed the building in no time, and today is a serious and beautiful landmark in OSOSA. We are going to commission that on the day. Because of the COVID guidelines, like I said, it will be purely, strictly under the guidelines. We have them, the judiciary team coming in from Abeokuta, and some of my chiefs and some of my friend OBAs will support me. And then after we've done that, everybody goes home.
But as you do all of this, how does it make you feel when you look back at the last 10 years and what you've been able to achieve within that?
Well, I think what is important, like I used to tell some of our young guys here, is that for leadership is not a joke, but at the same time it's a training school and it's an opportunity to serve. So once you are put in a position of leadership and you see yourself as a servant of the people that God has put under you, then it becomes easy. And you can apply yourself, you can apply your little God-given gifts to make life easy for people. On a daily basis, I will not go to bed if I don't put a smile on somebody's face. I think it is a principle that everybody needs to adopt. If you adopt that kind of principle, that a day will not go by unless you put a smile on somebody, it becomes easier for you. So for me, like I said, 10 years has done a lot in changing my outlook about life, and basically I also see myself as a role model to most of the youth. A lot of things have happened in OSOSA, particularly in terms of development. It becomes easier for us in OSOSA now. I don't know, maybe it's because of our leadership style, to get the consensus of everybody generally. When we want to do something, we just put it on the social media. We have what we call as our sons and daughters. A better part of those people are young fellows. And we will debate, we will discuss, then we will reach a conclusion. Like when the COVID thing started, I think, I'm not sure, but I hope I am correct with the fact that OSOSA was one of the towns in Ijebu, one of the first towns that quickly garnered a sum close to 3 million. Just by talking to ourselves on the social media, people contributed up to 3 million. We bought products and we distributed it to the, to the vulnerables, both the old and the young, the widows and so on and so forth. And everybody was happy about it. We did that such that even we had money left in the account. And a number of the things we now do thereafter are generally debated, and then after an agreement, it is executed. Take for instance, I sent a message to Mr. Governor, Prince Dakwabeldo. I said, Mr. Governor, it's my 10 years in August, and naturally, if you give me money, I will accept. But what would be the happiest thing for me is for you to give my town a 500 kVA transformer. You won't believe it. A few days after that, I got a message from one of the engineers from Abeokuta that Mr. Governor said they should go and give OSOSA 500 kVA transformer. I was so happy. Immediately I informed everybody on our social media. Everybody is so happy. We are expecting the transformer. The engineer has called. They told me that it would be here on or before the 6th of August. And so such a thing, it can only give you joy that you are serving your people. Naturally, one will expect that it's only politicians that are supposed to be getting in touch with their governor or local government council chairman. But the Yoruba proverb says, once you know that you are serving your people, you must act as their councillor, their council chairman, their senator, their house of rep, if possible, even their governor. And that is what we are doing. We thank God for it.